Hey guys, Dino Merino here again. We're in kind of different location. Try to kind of change it up every time I make a video for you. But today we're talking about the Lord heals, and this one's kind of going to be a part two to last week's video because I want to talk about how the Lord will heal us both in a physical sense, but also in an emotional and I guess a spiritual sense, right? So I mentioned last week how my mother passed away, and he provided my wife, who was an amazing resource to me and helped me out so much and really got me through such a tough time. And there was I would say I don't want to call it a scar because it's more like a giant gash on my heart when my mother passed away. And it's, I want to say it's difficult to talk about, but it's just, you don't want to go all the time to that type of place or think about the damage that was done because of something that happened in your life. But I wanted to share that with you all so that hopefully someone can grow from this. So for years, my mother passed away now. In November, it will be, I want to say 6 years, right, that she passed away. And basically, I would say 4 of those years, it was difficult for me to think about her. It was difficult for me to talk about her. It was difficult for me to really celebrate Mother's Day with my mother-in-law or anyone else really who I would be normally celebrating that with. And it was just always a tough time, right? So every Mother's Day for the first 2 or 3 years, I would be just extremely sad and just wanting to stay at home. And then a couple of years back, I was addressing these issues with my wife a bit further. And at the time, my pastor, his name is David, who's also my wife's uncle, which is kind of a great story. Maybe one day I'll tell that about how the Lord provided both him and my wife as well to get me closer to God and want me to further pursue ministry, but I digress. So at one time I was talking to them about it, and I was speaking more about what's going on, and he told me that I need to pray on it, but I really need to focus in on the Lord and pray and ask for healing and ask not for forgiveness for myself, but basically to ask him to remove this pain from me and be able to forgive myself personally, because a lot of times a lot of this pain was coming from me because I felt a sense of responsibility because my mother passed away so suddenly, and I was thinking that maybe there's something I could have done. And so what I ended up doing is I sat down, I prayed about it, I prayed on it, and I thought about it, and I talked to my wife about her more, and I kind of started to try and bring up the good things about her more to the modern day, right? And kind of be able to discuss her further, something I wasn't able to do for a long time. And as I had started to talk about her with my wife and discuss what was going on with me and pray with my wife and pray with my uncle, the Lord reached out to me, and I can tell he definitely healed that gash that was on my heart. At times, I know Satan will try and come over me and make it feel like I'm at fault or try and blame me for what happened, but that's not the case. I know that now, that nothing I did was wrong, and at no point in time was I the one who was held accountable for my mother's passing. It was in the Lord's hands. And I just want to share this again, that the Lord heals us emotionally, because without my family, without the Lord being by my side and the family members who He put in my life, I would still be feeling this dread and this guilt every time I thought about her. So as you go through your week, I want you to focus in on some times that the Lord helped you out as well and was able to heal you, whether it be a physical ailment or an emotional ailment. Maybe think of something that you were really struggling with and how the Lord have worked with you to get over this, because my life has changed for the better because of the fact that He was willing to work with my issues and He was willing to heal that. Because it just was bad, honestly. Christmas was her favorite holiday, and every Christmas when I would see the lights and the Christmas tree for the first 3 years, I was just so sad and so depressed, and I couldn't get out of it. I know Christmas is dedicated to the Lord and Jesus Christ's birth, but for me, it was this holiday full of memories of my mother who passed, who I wish I can share with again. And now, although it's sometimes tough to go ahead and kind of think about her, I can rejoice in Thanksgiving for the memories I do have of her and the memories I have of her loving Christmas or Thanksgiving or the 4th of July was one of her favorite holidays as well. And so it's just kind of one of those things that I can really spend time enjoying because the Lord healed that scar. So now every time I think about my mother, I can think of her in a positive way, and it kind of brings joy to my heart. So thank you so much for listening. God bless, and you guys have a great day.